it is story time. Today we're going to go ahead and finish our big book of questions about under the sea. All right, today we are going to be reading about the deep and the dark. Let's see. What is a hot vent? Do you know what a hot vent is? Right here. A hot vent is an underwater chimney where water is heated by hot magma rising close to the seafloor. The hot water is mixed with black minerals and other chemicals inside of the chimney before it rushes out of the chimney's top. Scientists call these chimneys black smokers. Do you see right here? That's at the very bottom of the sea. Whoa! How can animals live near the vents? Around the deep sea hot vents, communities of animals get all their energy from the minerals coming out of the earth instead of the sun. So all those minerals right there. It is also a very dangerous place because vents, like volcanoes, will explode without much warning. Animals that live near the vents must grow very quickly in order to release their larvae before the vent explodes. Ooh, would you want to go down to the deepest part of the ocean? I wouldn't. Does sunlight reach the bottom of the ocean floor? How far light can travel through water depends on how much mud and plankton is in it. But even in the clearest ocean water, almost all light disappears within a few hundred feet. In the twilight zone of the ocean, between about 1,000 and 4,000 feet, the animals that live there can only see a faint blue light. Oh, no sunlight ever. That's kind of sad. Why do sunfish glow in the dark? Almost all of the animals that live in the ocean's twilight zone can make their own light. These animals make light to disguise themselves, to scare away predators, and to attract food or to communicate with the others. See, so even though they live in the deepest, darkest part of the ocean, God created them so that way they can talk to each other, they can see, and they can camouflage. Our God is awesome. All right, let's go ahead and watch a short little video, and then we'll talk about our memory books, okay? We're going to watch a video about deep, dark ocean. Okay, here we go. She talks a little fast, so you have to listen.
Deep in the Pacific Ocean, near China, there's a long crescent-shaped area that's one of the most special places on Earth. It's called the Mariana Trench, and it's the deepest part of the ocean. It's so far down that for a long time, scientists weren't even sure if anything could live there. But then we finally were able to explore it, and it turns out that there are some awesome forms of life down there. The Mariana Trench is almost 11,000 meters, or about 36,000 feet deep. It's hard to even imagine how far down that is, but think about how far you would go if you walked for 2 hours, like for as long as a movie. Yeah, that would be a really long walk, but you'd end up going pretty far, right? Yeah, well, that's about as far down as the deepest part of the ocean is. If you put the biggest mountain on Earth inside it, the top of the mountain wouldn't even come close to the surface of the water. And when you get that deep into the ocean, it becomes really hard for anything to survive. For one thing, it's super dark. The light from the sun can't go through all that water, and almost everything that's alive needs sunlight to live, so it's really important. It's also really cold. It's so cold that if it got even a tiny bit colder, the water would freeze into ice. And there's tons of pressure down there too. Pressure is what happens when something pushes on something else. Like if I press my hands against this table, my hands are putting pressure on the table. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, all the water above creates lots of pressure, so much that it wouldn't be safe for people or almost any other living thing to swim around down there. The pressure would be way too strong. Between the darkness and the cold and the pressure, it's very hard for anything to survive at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. But there are some special types of life that can, like something called a sea cucumber. No, not that kind of cucumber, Squeaks. Even though they have a similar name, sea cucumbers aren't anything like the cucumber fruit we eat in salad sometimes. They're animals. They kind of look like big worms, and they live on the ocean floor, where they look for things to eat, like tiny animals, so small you wouldn't even be able to see them. Another type of animal that lives in the deepest part of the ocean are amphipods, which look a little bit like shrimp. Most of the animals that are similar to amphipods and live in other places are pretty small. They usually only get about a centimeter long or about as long as a fingernail. But the amphipods at the bottom of the Mariana Trench are much bigger. They can be 20 centimeters long or about the size of a grown-up's hand. There are also lots of another type of living thing called foraminifera, or just forams for short, that live in the deepest part of the ocean. There are more than 400 kinds of them living in the Mariana Trench. And they're not animals or plants or even fungi like mushrooms. They're a type of living thing called a protist. These forams can be about the same size as the amphipods, or even bigger, up to 30 centimeters long. All the types of life in the deepest part of the ocean are soft with no hard bones. They can't have bones because the pressure down there is so strong that it would just turn them into mush. That strong pressure also makes it very hard for us humans to go explore the Mariana Trench, which is why there's a lot scientists still don't know about it. We can send people down there in special types of submarines that keep them safe from the pressure and the cold. Or we can send robots without people. I know, Squeaks, I would love to go exploring there too. But it's very hard and expensive to build submarines or robots that can go that far down. Scientists have only done it a few times, so we know a little bit about what's down in the deepest part of the ocean, but a lot of it is still a big mystery. Thanks for joining us. If you want to keep learning and having fun with Squeaks and me, hit the red subscribe button, and we'll see you next time here at the fort.
Boys and girls, isn't that just fascinating? She and Squeaks want to go down to the deepest part of the ocean. I do not. I like learning about it right here at Harvest. All right, so right now, instead of doing our penmanship, we're going to spend a little time working on my kindergarten memory book. Now, mommies and daddies, this is a book that the kindergartners typically start writing in the third trimester when their fine motor skills develop and their eye coordination allows them to copy from the board. So, and it's a special gift that we usually give you on awards day as a keepsake of all the special things that we did in kindergarten. So I'm really sad that you guys get to finish it off and I don't get to be a part of it, but it is special and it's full of photographs. You're gonna wanna add some of the photographs of your COVID-19 experience with your little ones because it's part of their year. So you're gonna go ahead and open it up and it says I'm in kindergarten. Go ahead and have them fill it out. Did I skip a page? I think there's all about me page. And you're just gonna work on it a little bit at a time. Because it's a keepsake, you want them to take their time, do a nice job when they're printing. I have them color, so maybe you'll do like 2 pages today. And then there's, I believe, a couple times in the schedule next week where I'm gonna say pull out your kindergarten memory book. And if it's not completed, you're gonna go ahead and just finish it leisurely. And we tried really hard to make sure that everybody had photographs for each special day, but if we did not, hopefully you'll have something in your camera to make it extra special. All right, so have fun learning and working with your child. All right, bye guys.